Welcome to the decisionMe raDAR application. raDAR reduces risks in decision-making by leveraging AI analytics and reasoning. Clarity replaces uncertainty, and sound decisions become second nature. In this tutorial, we'll guide you through the process of assigning meaningful scores to each criterion in each scenario, showing you how to handle objective facts, like cost, distance, or job placement rates, and subjective experiences, such as personal fulfillment or work-life balance. This assures all scenarios are judged on equal terms. You'll end this tutorial knowing how to rate your options with clarity and consistency. Scoring scenarios is the heartbeat of your decision, where your choices stop floating in the abstract and start standing toe-to-toe with what really matters. Scoring your scenarios against your criteria is more than just checking boxes. It's how you call out the champion. It's where clarity cuts through chaos. Each score becomes a spotlight, revealing how well each option truly delivers on your goals. This is how the best decision doesn't just feel right, it proves itself right. With our 3 key pillars as your guide, you'll learn how to make every number meaningful, turn instincts into insight, and watch the winning path reveal itself. This is where the magic of decision-making turns deliberate and powerful. Take your time. This is where everything comes together. Each scenario deserves a careful look, one criterion at a time. Don't rush, just reflect and give your best estimate. Even if you're unsure, that's okay. raDAR is built for moments like this. It thrives in uncertainty, using your input to uncover the clearest, most confident path forward. Your role? Think it through. Score it honestly. Then let the system reveal what truly rises to the top. You've done the thoughtful work discovering your criteria and defining your scenarios in partnership with our AI assistant. Now it's time to bring those decisions to life. This is where the real engine kicks in. Let raDAR, our AI-powered analytics, step in as your expert in simulation, scoring, and statistical analysis. You don't have to master data science, just give us the inputs that matter to you. From there, we'll run the numbers, explore every angle, and reveal the clearest path forward. It's your vision. raDAR just sharpens the lens. Now that you've identified your criteria and created your scenarios, it's time to score each one. In this method, you'll assign a value between 0 and 100 for how well a scenario satisfies a particular criterion. Think of it like grading on a test. 0 means it does not meet the criteria. 100 means it meets the criteria fully. Think in terms of 3 anchors. Minimum, the worst possible value you'd accept or expect. Maximum, the best imaginable outcome for that criteria. Typical, a value that feels common or average for that criteria. Each criteria requires these 3 numbers. Use the slider to move typical towards min or max if you want to weight that side more. Imagine you're evaluating quality of construction for your deck. If scenario do-it-yourself scenario, you know you aren't that skilled, that might be a min of 25 and a max of 50, but you think it closer to 25, so you move the slider to the left. The 25-point spread is because you never built a deck before. If scenario C, professional contractor, that might be a max of 100 and a min of 90, but you expect the best, so you set the typical to be 100. You're not aiming for perfection, just an honest, thoughtful estimate. This scale type is great when your judgment is key and exact numbers aren't available. The 0-100 scale gives you control without requiring exact precision. Sometimes you don't need to guess, you have actual numbers. This method is used when the criterion has a measurable value, like cost, commute time, or salary. As in the scoring type, you'll enter the minimum, maximum, and typical values. For example, in the do-it-myself scenario, you know the minimum value to be 0 because time is your own. But you set the maximum to $500 because there is a possibility you can hire someone to assist you. Alas, you don't know anyone yet, so set typical to 0 and brace yourself to go it alone. In the contractor scenario, you have a quote for $150 per hour and likely 40 house. So you set the maximum to $6,000 to account for potential 20% overrun. You also know contractors seldom come in under budget. So you set minimum to $4,750 and let the typical represent the quote. This scoring type brings objectivity. You're not guessing, you're letting the numbers speak for themselves, and raDAR translates them into decision impact. Some criteria aren't numbers, they're categories. For these, you use a list, a ranked list of possible values. When creating the criteria during the discovering criteria step, you created a criteria called Effort in obtaining building permits. You specified 3 levels in the list. The contractor gets them all, the contractor gets some, and the homeowner obtains them, and specified that higher is better. As you scope the obtaining permits effort criteria, you assign one of the list elements for minimum, typical, and maximum. For example, in Do It Myself, there's no doubt that you have to get all of the permits as the homeowner. Thus, you would assign minimum, maximum, and typical to the same value. Homeowner gets them all, because there is no uncertainty. In the contractor case, you are unsure of whether they offer the permitting service at the time of your decision. So you set minimum and typical to the contractor gets some, and you hope for the best, so you assign contractor gets them all to the maximum value. This method works great when your preferences are qualitative but structured, like company size, housing types, or campus culture. Once you've scored your scenarios, you might notice something doesn't feel quite right, and that's okay. This is the part of the process where refinement happens. Maybe you realize that a criterion should use a different scoring method. For instance, you started with a 0-100 score, but now have real data, so switch it to a numerical value. Or perhaps you want to add an element to the list category you forgot. Changing the list is easy. You'll just add the element, re-enter the values or categories, and let raDAR update the results automatically. You can also revisit the weights you assign to each criterion. If your priorities have shifted, you can adjust the importance of each factor. A 70-point criterion might become 90, and a 20 might shrink to 10. That flexibility keeps your decision aligned with what matters now, not just what mattered at the beginning. Beware, you are not trying to engineer the answer you want. That defeats the decision process. If you already know what you wanted, there is no decision to be made. A good rule of thumb is to go with your initial instinct and only refine because of new information. This is how great decisions are made, not perfectly the first time, but thoughtfully, with the freedom to adjust as your clarity grows. Congratulations, you've done it. You've successfully navigated all 5 steps of the decision-making process, from shaping your decision to scoring your scenarios with precision and insight. You're now ready for the moment of truth, the big reveal. It's time to review the analysis and see which of your scenarios comes out on top. Is there a clear winner? Or do you have a tie that needs a closer look? Either way, you've laid the foundation for a thoughtful, data-driven choice. Next, in the Understanding Your Decision tutorial, you'll learn how to interpret the compiled scores and statistics of all your scenarios. There will be a narrative, numerous charts, and graphs. We will describe it all. No matter where you are in the process, decisionMe is here to help you move forward with confidence, with clarity, and with peace of mind.